Today our lesson is November 2nd and 2020. Topic is about demand, the market demand. And today we are going to analyze what is meant by law of demand. Law of demand. I gave you idea about ceteris paribus condition. What's that?
Okay, all the conditions are kept.
Yes. We are going to make a demand model. We want to analyze our consumer behavior. So there are so many variables which can affect the demand of a product. Alright. So what we are going to do, we are keeping other factors constant. Like we are studying the relationship between price and quantity demanded in isolation. Like any other variable that is kept constant. You can say now quantity demand can be the function of price of the product in terms of mathematics. If price is going to change, there will be change in quantity demand. Alright? When price of any product increases, what happens? People will buy less of that product. And when price decreases, they rush towards the market in order to buy more. You can see when the different types of branded goods, they are announcing their promotions or they are announcing their out-season sales, many people visit those outlets in order to buy more quantities. And during the peak prices, they are buying less. And people wait for those days in which the brands will be announcing their out-season prices. And they are slashing the prices, and as a result, what happens? Many people will rush towards the market in order to buy more quantity at that time. Alright? So we say we are now going to analyze the relationship between price and quantity demand. And what type of relationship we are finding? That is inverse relationship. So law of demand says price and quantity demanded, both the price of the product, the price of the product and its quantity demand and its quantity demanded are inversely related with each other. Inversely related with each other. साथ में क्या लिखूंगा? At ceteris paribus. In our last lesson, I have given you the details about the definition of demand. That means what? Desire and ability to buy at various prices in a given time period at ceteris paribus. So today I am writing the law of demand. Here I say they are inversely related means what? When price increases, quantity demand decreases. They are having negative relationship. What relation they are having? Negative. Keep it in mind, we are not saying the price is negative or quantity is negative. We say they move in opposite direction. If price increases, quantity demand will fall. And if price decreases, quantity demand will increase. Their relationship is negative. Alright? So what factors, Manu, we have kept constant which can affect the demand of a product? Like we say, the constant, or you can say the non-price factors. What are these factors? These are the ceteris paribus factors. One is called income of the consumer. If his income is kept constant, okay, his income is not changing, then definitely his behavior will be like this, or her behavior will be like this. And if income is also continuously increasing, then this behavior cannot be held. What else we are keeping constant?
Quality.
Prices of other goods. Prices of other goods. Like they can be the competitor of this product. If we are talking about coffee, which product is going to be the competitor? That can be tea, a substitute of coffee. Okay? So price of substitute and price of complementary goods, which is used simultaneously with the product, so they are kept constant. The third thing which we are keeping constant, that is tax, or you can say government policy. Government is not changing its taxes. So because of these are the factors which can be measured in terms of money. These are the economic factors which we have kept constant. And some factors, they are not measured in money, but they are affecting the demand of a product. For example, I say the weather conditions. Weather is not made in terms of money, but it can affect the demand of many of the products. Like during winter, the demand of winter clothes will increase. Alright? During rainy season, the demand of umbrella will increase. So weather is not made in terms of money like income, but it is affecting the demand of a product. Another factor which is called taste and fashion, that changes over the period of time. Taste, do you think, how are they measured? They are measured by psychiatrists. This is the study of psychology. How tastes are developed in the minds of people. Okay, that's why they are increasing the demand. Okay, and the going trend, that is called fashion. Okay, so these two things are also unmeasured in terms of money, but they are affecting the demand of the product. Alright, and another factor you can say, that is the population size of a country. Over the period of time, what happens? Population size also increases. And due to increase in population size, what happens? Demand of certain products that also grows. And demand of other products may decrease. Okay? So these factors are kept constant. If they are not going to change, they are not going to vary, then they will have the free movement with each other. They have the free movement with each other, and if price is increasing, then all of us will be behaving in the same way, that we will be buying less of that product. And if price decreases, then we will be definitely buying more of this product. Follow my point? If those factors are kept constant. Now, I am going to draw a demand schedule, and then I will be drawing the demand curve for your knowledge and understanding. Now see, there can be different demands. One is called individual demand, another is called market demand. First of all, I am going to have a data about the individual demand. What is happening at price 10? How many units are demanded? 1 unit. When price goes to 9, what happens? 2 units are demanded. When price goes to 8, 3 units are demanded. When price goes to 7, 4 units are demanded. Can you observe the relationship? When price is falling, quantity demand is increasing. This is individual consumer behavior. A single consumer is saying that when price is falling, he is going to buy more quantity of this product. Alright? If we draw a single consumer or individual demand curve, here I am taking quantity demanded, here it is the 0, this is the origin point. Many of you may not be able to draw the graphs in economics, so here I am taking price. Or sometimes a currency is written because price is measured in terms of any currency. Keep it in mind, in economics, we draw a graph which is rough to scale. We are only conveying the idea between the two variables. We are not making a scale of that graph in order to draw it very neatly according to the rules of drawing a graph. Okay. Now see, at price 10, first unit is demanded. Please pay attention first of all. This is the point now. This is one point on the graph. If price goes to 9, how many units are demanded? Another point we have spotted. Another spot appears on the graph. And when price goes to 8, there are 3 units which are demanded. When price goes to 7, there are 4 units which are demanded. Okay? Now join these spots, these points, they are joined to each other. What we have? A demand curve. This is individual demand. Many of our students, when they come to us, they say, sir, I don't understand how to draw a demand. This is the main basic thing. If you understand, draw yourself, take different points, different voices, and draw yourself, you will get a downward sloping market demand. Sorry, individual demand in this case. We have taken the individual data. Can you see it is downward sloping? What do we mean by downward sloping? These two variables which are in study, they are having inverse relation, like if price goes down, quantity demand will increase. They are moving in opposite direction. So it is downward sloping. How can we define the demand curve? What it is? It is graphical representation between price and quantity demand. What is demand curve? Hadika. What is demand curve? It shows graphical representation between price and quantity demanded. Like the same schedule, this is demand schedule or demand schedule. Now it is drawn in a graph, so we say the graphical representation of this demand schedule is called what? Demand curve. Now this is a linear demand, it is a straight line demand. That would mean it is having a constant slope. When price goes down, quantity demand will increase. Alright. How to get the market demand curve from this individual demand? There is no single person to buy the goods. There are so many people there buying. If we multiply this quantity demanded with the number of buyers in the market multiplied by the number of buyers, maybe there are 100 buyers in the market. Multiplying each quantity demanded by the number of buyers. Alright? So what is happening? This is the total market demand at price 10, that is 100, and total market demand at 9 and at 8 and at 7. Clear? Now, can I say how to draw the market demand curve? We can say this was the individual demand, and there are 100 buyers, 100 consumers. At each price, when we are adding their demands, so can I say market market demand is also downward sloping like individual demand, but it is the horizontal sum of the quantity demands of all the individuals at each price. Horizontal sum, like the market demand will be lying on the right side of the individual demand because there can be 100 points at each price. So market demand curve, we are studying the market force of demand, not the individual demand of a product. Alright? So we have drawn the market demand curve from this individual demand. Sometimes we have one of the MCQ. How can we find the market demand? You can say this is the horizontal sum of the individual demands of all the consumers at each price in the market. Clear?
Horizontally sum of.
Horizontal sum of the individual demands, individual quantities demanded at each price by all the buyers in the market in a given time period at set parameters. So now we are able to draw the market demand curve, which is downward sloping. Now I'm not writing along with it, this is individual, this is the market demand. Because usually we study the market demand of a product, not the individual demand. Now it is downward sloping. Slope means what? Slope means this is the rate of change. This is change in price, this is change in quantity. How quantity demand will increase due to change in price? They move in opposite direction. Negatively slope means what? When price falls, the quantity demand increases. Their movement is in opposite direction. That's why we say the market demand curve, which represents the price and quantity demanded at each price, they are inversely related with each other. What do we say? They are inversely related. Now I am going to explain you what is the movement along this demand curve when price goes down or price goes to go up, when price increases or if price decreases. Now see, this is what? Demand. When price is 300 units are demanded, and when price goes to 400 units are demanded. See over here, this is the movement. When price of the product itself is falling, this is called expansion of quantity demand. Quantity demand will expand along the curve due to fall in the price of the product. This is called movement down along the curve. Movement along the demand. When price decreases, quantity demanded will expand along the demand curve. This is called expansion of quantity demanded. Expansion of demand. Alright? And when price increases, what happens? Suppose now price goes up. Price goes up. Suppose from 7 to, we can say 9. Now 400. Now it is 200. What is happening? Quantity demand will contract along the demand curve. When price increases, we say this is the contraction of demand. What it is? Contraction of demand. Demand curve will never shift due to the change in price of its own product. When its own product price is changing, demand will move along the curve, it will never shift. It will be stationary, but there will be movement along the curve. When price falls, quantity demand will expand. And when price increases, quantity demand will contract. I think that's all for today. And tomorrow onward we will be doing the shifts of demand, the other analysis of the demand. So today we have learned what? The law of demand, where price and quantity demanded, their relationship is negative. And we have made a demand schedule for individual consumer. And then we have made a demand, market demand curve. We are able to learn how to draw individual demand. And from that we have drawn the market demand, and then we have studied what is meant by the slope of this demand. I will give you one mathematical equation in my next class to how to see the slope. Okay. Now this is the movement along the demand curve. When price falls, what happens to quantity demand, and when price increases, what happens to it? Expansion and contraction. Okay. So these are the things we have learned today, and by tomorrow inshallah we will be going further ahead of the demand analysis. Okay. Thank you.